Hey guys, welcome back to Swing and a Drive. That's Logan. I'm James. Thanks for taking a few minutes to talk about the Blue Jays with us. Pretty exciting right now in the midst of a horrible season. Draft day. So we're going to chat about our first overall pick, maybe our second pick. And we did want to just touch on quickly the situation with Kevin Kiermaier. If you need any clarification, I know there's been a few videos about that made already, but we've got a little bit of information for that too. So let's get right into it, Logan. Let's start with Kiermaier first, get that business dealt with before we talk about our future. We'll talk about, I don't want to say past, but the Kiermaier situation is quite...
The ghost of Blue Jays present.
Yeah, the
Kevin
ghost of Blue
Kiermaier.
Jays present. That's a really good way to say it. The Kiermaier situation is weird. I I was really shocked they did the move. So the way it's all worked out, he's still with the team. He was put on waivers, not claimed, still with the team. Uh, Give me your impressions of the way they handled the situation, Logan, and the kind of the way it all works.
I think the Blue Jays handled it as well as they could. This happens. This is very common to put like this type of player on this type of waiver. You're not supposed to find out. The player doesn't find out because I think more often than not, the players don't get claimed because you don't get put on these waivers if you're playing really well, right? So once in a while somebody thinks it's a change of scenery or they might have picked him up for like defense or something like that, but nobody picked him at the start of the year except the Blue Jays. Nobody's picking him now. So what that comes down to is he's still a Blue Jay, and in normal circumstances when this doesn't leak, the player doesn't know the difference. They don't know that any of this ever happened, and he just continues to play on like they're having the same crappy season they've always had.
Yeah,
Kiermaier's case, it got leaked. A reporter reported it, kind of also bad form. Um, Probably an agent leaked it, is what it sounds like,
that was
because
my next
the,
question.
the only people that actually know about it, from what I understand, is the like GM and the agents. Like Schneider didn't even know, right? Like Schneider doesn't even know. So at the
Right.
end of the game, when it was announced mid-game on like social media, um, GM Atkins had to go talk to Schneider and tell him what happened so that Schneider could immediately go talk to Kiermaier and tell him what happened before he read it on Twitter.
Right. Yeah. Credit to Kiermaier for the way he reacted. He
Yeah, he's
was
being a real pro about it.
he was an
Like,
utter professional about
yeah,
everything, saying he understands the situation the team is in. He knows that he hasn't been hitting. He knows he plays great defense. He doesn't need somebody to tell him that. But he knows what the reality of everything is, and so credit to him
well,
for
and you
his...
kind of frame it as a like they did as an opportunity for him to go to a team that's contending, not frame it as like an opportunity for us to dump salary, which it is.
Which it is. Yeah. Yeah.
But here he is playing with that chip on his shoulder now.
And what did he do?
Grand slam.
It's a slammy.
That's two home runs since it's happened, right?
Yeah.
Like he had a decent home run, like a deep home run,
Yeah.
and then hits a grand slam, making web gems out in center as he always does, running the bases hard. Like
Yeah.
I've mentioned it to you before. I think he's playing with that chip on his shoulder again. He was missing that a little bit.
Yeah.
Maybe this getting leaked might not have been an accident. Like someone was like, "Hey, Kiermaier needs something pissing him off to play for, so
Yeah.
let's
It
do
very,
that."
I,
I
I
mean,
wouldn't I would not be shocked.
I don't think the Jays were smart enough to do it, but that might be what his agent thought when he leaked it.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, try and get his client going so that he can get a little bit, he can be a little bit more successful and maybe not be out of the year next year, out of the league next year. We'll see. We have the draft and the All Star game are like the two sort of things in the season, mid season, that signal the back half that
Yeah,
here we go.
uh,
So
the unofficial first half has officially ended.
yeah, I mean it's a little longer than half, so
Yeah,
we'll say it. Yeah, exactly. But they're uh, they're on their way. We've got our guys picked. All the teams are pretty much done. Well, the draft is still ongoing, but we've got all these picks now, and those are the
I
guys that are
think
going to
they're
be
yeah
traded around and all of that kind of stuff. So
At this point, they're through the 12th or 13th round,
yeah,
so
yeah.
anybody of consequence has been picked.
But as of the first round, things are. I really wasn't expecting a lot from the Blue Jays given our drafting history, but I was quite pleased to discover that we maybe got a bit of a steal in this draft class.
Yeah.
Do you want to?
I mean, it sounds like it.
Do you want to
I,
introduce the player?
So I can butcher his last name. I'm sure I'll say it wrong. Trey Yesavage.
I was like, you savage it.
Yeah. Um,
we're gonna make a lot of hay out of that one.
Yeah. Coming from, what is it, East Carolina?
Yep.
20 years old, right-handed pitcher. Lots of upside, it looks like. Big guy. I don't have his height or anything right here. He's
6'4", 225.
Big guy.
Yeah, 4 pitches.
Yeah, so I think they got lucky. Everything I had read previously about like names that are attached to the Jays' first or second picks, he wasn't in any of it, and I was shocked when he got picked, and I learned that nobody expected him to be around still by number 20.
Yes.
So
yeah,
I think you alluded to that with your comment on a bit of a steal, right? So like he went lower than expected, and the Jays managed to swoop in and grab him.
Ranked as the number 11 prospect, the third ranked pitcher. And they think that the reason why he ended up dropping was because right near the end of his college career, he dealt with a collapsed lung that kept him out of the ACC championship tournament. And so when he came back, picked up right where he left off. Great. But because of the injury, and that happens in football too, any of these things where a guy spends a little time injured, it just
especially in this kind of day and age where you're looking at numbers a lot for these kind of kids and not seeing them as much.
Yeah,
his numbers would be down, right, from not being able to play. So
yeah, you just like your innings pitched is lower. So it's just that you have a smaller sample size, so it's less of a sure thing when you look at those numbers. Say over how much time has he been doing this? So it's just a little bit more of a gamble, which. I mean, the Blue Jays love gambling. That's one thing when we often fail. So I'm cautiously optimistic here, though.
I think Ross Atkins should call the hotline for Gamblers Anonymous. He's in like eBay level debt. If you were equated to like the millions of dollars that eBay lost of Shohei's money, he's in that level debt.
Okay. I thought you said
on prospects.
I thought you said eBay, and I'm like, what happened with eBay, man?
No, ePay.
Yeah, Otani's translator that
Otani's,
did his business.
Translator.
Yeah, exactly. So
hey, something's got to hit, right? So I think this is good. I think this is a good one to take a chance on because he was expected to go higher. He was still ranked to go higher, and it went to 20. So
totally, yeah, he was expected to go 11.
I was hoping we were going to get one of those catchers first because, let's face it, we have lots of needs. But this is great. I think this is a great pick. I think this is a great pick by the Blue Jays. There, I said it.
Right? Just like, did we do something? Did we do something right? Did we do a good thing? Like,
it feels weird to say.
I mean,
unexpected.
Isn't it a nice thing to have a little bit of positive news in this Blue Jays season?
Well, I mean, I did. I messaged you earlier and I said it's a sign of how bad the Blue Jays are this year, as to how into the draft I am this week.
Right. Yeah.
Because
for sure. You want to see hope. You want to see what hope. Okay, who are we bringing in? Give me reasons to hope.
What's the future look like?
But to me,
should I put on my shades, or is it going to be bright or not? I don't know.
Right. It's like or the paper bag over the head. That's the shades or that. But like if the Yesavage works out and because he's come out of college, he's closer to the bigs than some of the other guys that we have. But if he works out,
Yes.
if Ricky T gets healthy and stays healthy, and this Brandon Barriera can progress, we have three real possibilities there for good young arms coming up.
Well, and what's his name? Mako?
Adam Mako was another one I was going to bring up, but he's not quite in there. I don't think he's quite in there like status as far as the pecking order goes, but he's like I think he's right
same
there.
timeline, I think, though. Right?
Yeah, same timeline. I think you're right. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so you get
he's your number 5 guy. Here's our 2028 rotation, folks.
Well, I mean, so you have like I think we're going to see. I think we're going to see Yesavage pitch spring training innings next year, but he clearly won't break with the team. But he'll pitch some spring training innings next year, and then the year after that, I think they'll give him a real look. We might see him.
I mean, I don't think he's got that in him. That's very uncommon, right? It's very uncommon.
What's that?
I think you're a year off. I think there's one more year in there. He will do minor league spring camp first. Then the next year he'll get minor league or major league spring innings.
Yeah,
and then in 2027 he will be possibly breaking with the team.
He might.
That's fast, right? Like that's still fast.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, we're not going to have a Paul Skeens situation here.
No, he's not a Paul Skeens, but they have talked about him being much more. He's the most major league ready of the pitchers coming in right now. So
I believe it. I mean, he's had a few years of college and stuff, and kids are different these days. We did okay with number 20 this year, I think. Yeah. And then the second round, we picked another pitcher.
Yes. Khal Stephen, a 21-year-old from out of several schools.
I
think his most recent school was Mississippi State this past spring. Yeah, so he was in Mississippi State this past spring, but he's a big guy.
And he's gone to Purdue, so those are two big ones. But.
Yeah, so we'll see. We'll see if he's got. I mean, the second round pick, I'm much less.
Yeah, I mean, he's another 6'4" left, 6'4" righty.
Yeah, he might be better. Who knows, right? The way things work out in the majors.
For the best.
Yeah, exactly.
So look, all this stuff. It's nice to like talk about these guys and say, hey, this is who we picked and that's what's going on. I mean, realistically, if one of the guys in the top 10 makes it to the major leagues, we've done well. There's so many things that go into a draft pick getting to the major leagues. Like it's astonishing how much they have to accomplish still after this major accomplishment in their life.
Yeah, I guess we'll see what happens, and when the dust has settled on August 1st,
July
31st, really, technically
deadline.
Yeah. So July 31st, when the dust is settled, we will see where we're at. But until then, we'll check in a couple more times before the deadline for sure.
Yeah.
So thank you guys for spending a few minutes with us. I hope you got something out of the video. If you did, please hit the like, maybe subscribe to our channel, and we'll keep watching the Blue Jays. Until next video.
Jays.
Take care, guys. Peace.